Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of Chronicles. I'm excited again. So, the name of this episode is Crazily Believe in Yourself. Initially, I wanted to name it Stupidly Believe in Yourself, though I was corrected and told stupidly sounds a bit off, but intentionally so, because when I said stupidly, or rather when I thought stupidly, I meant not the absence of wisdom or the absence of soundness. To me, it meant switching off the part of your brain that screams out that you need to be sane when doing something. However, crazily believe in yourself also brings out the meaning that I intended. Anyway, in the first and second episode, I alluded to the fact that success um, is brought about by the attitude that you have, right? And your attitude is built up by the thoughts in your mind, and your mind is very conscious to what the voices that are in your the thoughts that are in your mind, and the thoughts are built up by the way you speak to yourself, right? And every time you say the word I am, your mind takes it as an order. It takes it as a direction to build you up into that which you're thinking. So when you give the voices and the thoughts that you have in your mind, that build up who you are, right? So, and then eventually over time, that is what brings you either to success or to the failure of that which you are undertaking. So that being said, I wanted to talk about that which God has put inside of you, because it's the entire purpose of this channel, the destiny and what God has put inside of you or called you for, and achieving that. If you are a Bible reader or along in your, you must have heard of the parable of the talents. And the talents, they're a symbol of something God has put inside of you, which again is also called talents. That which God has put inside of you, God has deposited inside of each and every one of us some capacity for us to get to which He has intended for us to do. You're not supposed to save the world or do everything. You are not Jesus. Your work is that which God has put inside of you to reach that, to attain that. And to attain that, again, the talents that are inside of you. So the three guys who are given the talents as per the parable, one was given 10, one was given 5, one was given 1. The guy with the 10 brought added 5 more, added 10 more, and he doubled, right? The guy who had 5 talents again also doubled. So they put some work in it, they doubled, and they brought it back to their master. Now the guy who had 1 talent, he said, my master likes making gain. He thought in his mind, my master likes making gain where he's not supposed to, and then returned the talent as it was. That is what most people, I don't want to say most, but that's what happens when you have something deposited inside of you that you don't use, and then you return it back as it was deposited. Hence the digging in the sand, in the ground, and storing it. He stored it in the ground, returned it as it was. And then even the attitude with which he returned it, he said, you like making gain where you are not supposed to. So that attitude, he put it inside the ground. First, he didn't make any use of it. Then the way he returned it, even on top of that, angered the master. So when God has deposited inside of you something that you're supposed to multiply, that is the thing that I want to talk about. And I said it in the previous episode, that which God has put inside of you, there is a way that you know that which God has called you to do, or that which you are supposed to do. There's something that guides you to know that it's what you have been called to do. You will never get the full roadmap, and you will never get every step of the way. Somehow, God is wise. He knows us, His people. He gives you the first step, and then He tells you, go for it. Or rather, He puts the first step. That's how maybe you are called to help out needy children. And inside of you, there's always a feeling of picking up one child, helping them throughout school. And then when you pick one child, it somehow becomes two, somehow becomes 10, somehow it grows, right? But if you never pick up the one child, that you will never achieve that which is, it remains a desire. So my point is, for this knowing that is inside of you, you know that there is something that God has put inside of you. It's for you to follow that first step, that which is inside of you, that is saying you need to start it. So you need to follow that step. You need to take that step. You need to take a bet on yourself. Number one, you'll never have the capacity, the full capacity to do out the entire thing, but you'll always have the ability to do the first step. And the Bible says that I think something about beginnings. Small beginnings are beautiful, right? I forget the verse, but remind me. Yes, do not despise small beginnings. Thank you. So, do not despise small beginnings. The Bible identifies that as your beginning, you will always start at a very small place, either because of lack of resources, lack of the general ability to do the thing in its bigger capacity. But where at which you start, somehow you usually garner the support, you garner the resources, and then it grows. And then number two, I'm jumping ahead of myself, but as you grow into it, as you visualize it becoming bigger, then that which you are visualizing, it grows into that. However, I'm going ahead of myself. So number one, purpose. To get to the purpose, number one is invest in your talent. Like, actually jump ahead and take a bet on that which God has put inside of you, and slowly by slowly you start seeing the results. Switch off the part of your brain that screams. A human being, how we are created, our mind is created to always want to be in the safe zone, to always want to be in the comfort zone. So whenever you start something that is making you jump out of your comfort zone, or making you just step out of your comfort zone, woo, the come by me is coming out, but make you make you step out of who you are, of what you're used to, your mind will start screaming out. When it starts screaming out, you need to switch off that part. E.g., I'm supposed to make a video, right? And my mind says, we don't have the content, we don't have the time, we don't have the ideal camera. But you switch off that part and say, I have decided this is the way, and I'll stick to it despite where I'm at, and despite the what I have currently, right? And actually just step out into it. Slowly by slowly you build up your capacity again, and as you get there, as you see the end result, it starts forming. That's how you do it, in summary. So practically, when I say talent, there's something greater than yourself that God has put inside of you to achieve. And how you can get to know it is that during your downtime, when you have some time, sit down and critically think about um, that which God has, that which you think you are called to live for. At times it's clear because of some people easily notice it from when they are young. When it's not clear for you, I have maybe a guiding question that can help you get there. Uh, Someone asked me, if Jesus was in this room and handing out gifts, or maybe was just in this room, what would you ask for? And for me, it snapped. It was not a car, it was not money. There was a specific thing that I could think about that I wanted the capacity to do. That can work for you as well. The other question that you can use is, if I had all the money in the world, how would I spend the rest of my life? That's the other thing. And the way our lives are built up, at times you are not fully able to do it, but if you settle down and focus, you will find a way to do that thing that you are supposed to do. And like everything, God's ways are higher than our ways. So that which he has put inside of you, you can be sure it will be crazy. It will be crazy for your mind. It will be crazy at the circumstances you are. That is where the crazy part comes in. You just take a bet on yourself and believe that when you start, it's gonna become bigger, it's going to become greater. Next, so as I was thinking about this topic, I thought of two ways in which you can do this. uh, just start somewhere, begin somewhere. If it's the one that I gave an example of, if it's the taking in children, maybe opening up a children's home, start somewhere. You can begin by visiting a children's home. Slowly by slowly, ideas will come on how to do it on a greater scale or on a bigger scale, right? Start somewhere. You won't be good at it, you won't be good at that which you are intending to do at first. If anything, be guaranteed you will be bad at it, because beginnings are just like that. It's the same way when you get a job or you open up a business. At first you are just poor at it. Be sure you'll just be, but it's good, you will be your best poor, and then slowly by slowly you grow from there, right? And then you can be sure consistency always wins. So take the first step and take a bet on yourself. Begin where you can, and then now build up the consistency. Put in the work, because without the work, you won't be able to grow it to that which you think you can grow it to. And then number two, when your mind starts screaming, switch it off, because you, like I said earlier, your mind is used to being comfortable. It's used to normalcy, that which you've made normal in your life. Your mind wants to see that, and then it feels safe. Take a step, jump out, and then just switch off your mind. So ile umeanza kufanya hiyo kitu, switch off your mind. Kuwa kama, unajua uenda wazimu wafikiriangi, they don't think about that which what they are doing. So just do it. I think whoever brought up the Nike slogan was very wise. It's just do it, just do it. In your downtime, freak out, but when you're doing it, just do it. And slowly by slowly, consistency wins at all times. Where money doesn't win, where talent doesn't win, consistency will always win. And then how to Also, how to stop your mind from screaming. Start by writing a vision, right? The Bible says, write it down plainly. And the funny thing, we were being taught about vision writing just a few days ago. I think it was 2 days ago. Vision writing. Start by, what do I want to see in 5 years? Even if it's crazy, write it down. In fact, the crazier the better. Break it down to half the time. If it's 10 years, break it down to 5 years. If it's 5, break it down to 2.5. What do I want to see? If it's crazy, better. Then now come back to the starting point and work it out to how I can get to now that place that I want to see. It takes some work, but it is worthwhile work. And then visualize it. Sit down and visualize, who am I in that time. For example, if I have 10 children homes, who am I at that time? Maybe sponsorships are coming in. I'm speaking to sponsors from everywhere in the world. Visualize it. See yourself doing it. And it seems crazy, but the good thing is, when you mix your desire with emotion, it happens, it manifests. And then, as you're praying about it, you're feeling it, and then it comes to be, because mixing it with emotion validates, it's like it validates it for your mind. It says this makes us excited, so it comes to manifestation. And then the physical act of writing it down is a step of faith. So at that point, as you keep reading your vision and visualizing it, it will come to pass. And then another thing, your inner critic. That inner critic, when it brings across thoughts that I can't do it, this is too hard, you have to work on him. How? By the words you say to yourself. As you're walking, crazily tell yourself, I'm an owner of 10 children homes. I love children. I love helping children. God has put it inside of me to work with children. People will see that which is inside of me and sponsor it. Talk about it. Talk about it over and over again. And as you're talking, your mind is believing, your heart is believing, and it will come to be, because that is that which you are created to do. And then every force, even God is on your side, because it's his will that is coming to pass. It's that which he has put inside you that is coming to pass. So take a bet on yourself. I'm urging you today to step out and do that small thing that you feel you are supposed to do. Take a step on it. Crazily believe in yourself, bet on yourself, because you are worth it, and that which you have intended to do, you will achieve it. That being said, all the best. I pray that you will take the step, and have a lovely time. Bye. Oh, subscribe to my channel.